to the sports page on WBCR AM 1470, first in Tennessee, with mobile TV at truthradio.tv. Alcoa, Maryville.
Welcome back to Barley's in Maryville. This is Mike Edwards along with the rest of our broadcast crew. And joining us now, our head William Blount football coach, Philip Shadowens, and his fine quarterback, Austin Myrick. Good morning to both of you, and welcome to the first sports page show of the year.
Thank you for having us. We appreciate it, and thanks for the invite.
Coach Shadowens, last season, 2-9, you were in the playoffs. You didn't have a whole lot of time to get your squad ready to go. You've taken the job late. You've had an off season with this year's squad. Your thoughts on this club going into the year?
We had a really unbelievable off season. Our kids worked extremely hard throughout the year. Really, as soon as the season ended last year, got in the weight room, did a lot of stuff after school as well, and really, we've about doubled our numbers, and our strength gains have been astronomical, which we had a long way to go. So that was good for us, and so I've been very pleased with how much the kids have bought in, been accountable to one another, and have really worked hard this offseason.
You've got 20 seniors coming back, so it's a fairly veteran team, is it not?
Pretty much, especially our skill positions. Yes, we're a lot of youngins coming back. I think we have a lot of skill players that can play. We're from top to bottom way probably more athletic overall than we were last year, and certainly stronger in the weight room, and so. A lot of places have a lot of experience coming back for sure.
Talk a little bit about your receiving corps there. You got some pretty good receivers there.
Pretty special.
Isaiah Hanna and Elijah Lincolnfelder, Brad Bowling, all those kids with some experience. Looks like you can put some points on the board that way, huh?
Sure. Isaiah Hanna is a special player. I'm pretty old, been coaching a long time, and he besides maybe Rodriguez Wilkes, who went to the University of Tennessee and was Mr. Football, Isaiah is probably the best route runner I've ever coached. He's really special. He's about 6'2", deceivingly fast, understands body leverage and body positioning and how to get in and out of breaks and how to get off coverage. He's really a special player, and it's kind of nobody knows about him. I mean, he had 11 touchdowns last year, but he's kind of the secret nobody knows about, I think, as far as in East Tennessee. He's a special player. Have a lot of experience coming back. We've also, added Nick Yoakum, who's a special talent as a junior. Damian Love, who's also a very talented kid. So we're probably then we have Elijah Lincolnfelder, Bradley Bowling coming back, Trey Smith, another kid, but probably faster. We're tremendously faster. It's not even close, actually, from a team speed standpoint at the skill positions. Feel like we have weapons at all three receiver positions, and that goes along with, we have a quarterback that can throw it a little bit, and, so he's sitting beside me. I'm not going to say anything too good about him, but.
And he can run it.
And he can run it. He runs about like I do. He's about a 5-flat 40, I think, and, no, not really. He's a mid 4.6 kid, and pretty special. Has some good receivers to get the ball to, that's for sure.
Austin Myrick, the fine quarterback there, William Blount, is here with us. Last year, Austin threw for over 1,500 yards and tossed 15 touchdown passes. Austin, talk a little bit about the mindset of this football team compared to maybe some of the other teams that you played on at William Blount going into the season.
Well, Coach Shad got here late last year and stuff, and he's been working really hard to change the mentality of William Blount. Last year we still had that same mentality, but this year we got a full off season with him. We've been working our butts off, and we're ready to see how it turns out.
I feel like, Coach, that a team in a lot of respects goes as the quarterback goes. I've seen very few teams that haven't had a very good quarterback that have done really well, and it's got to be comforting that you've got a guy running your ball club right here that's got some experience and done a great job, along with some fine receivers, and you got a running back in T.J. King that gained over, 700 yards last year. So, Coach, it looks like you've got everything together offensively to put some points up on the board and do well.
We feel like we do, and I said in front of the team the other day that, and I don't care what level of football you're at, the quarterback gets a lot of the attention, and great quarterbacks win a lot of games, and they talk about this quarterback did this and this quarterback did that, and with that comes a lot of responsibility, and Austin understands that. But yes, we have a very talented offense, and we do go as our quarterback goes, and he has lots of weapons. He don't have to do it all himself. He has lots of weapons around him, but Austin is an extremely talented kid, and understands football. has a high football IQ. and understands where the ball needs to go. And so, last year we had 6 interceptions, which was, ratio-wise not bad, but we did turn the ball over. We fumbled a few times from an offensive standpoint and really didn't win the turnover battle much. And Austin understands how important that is to win football games. But we have weapons around the field. Austin understands that. He doesn't have to do it all, because he just has to get the ball out of his hands when he needs to and be on time and be a leader like he has been. And he's had a tremendous fall camp, and our kids follow him, and they expect a lot from him because they know what he's capable of doing. And we are blessed. He can really run it. He also has a tailback that's a special kid back there with T.J. King, and he has receivers all over the field. So having Austin there, you can throw it 65 yards if we need it to. And last night he only threw it 63, though. I think he didn't do very good there. I mean, we thought he was going to throw it 70 last night. He threw it 63, but anyway, but he also can run, and he's a very tough kid. And if anything, Austin's biggest problem is I can't get him to ever get down when the play's over. He thinks he's a fullback when he's running the football, and sometimes he's probably been shoot out more since I've been here for that than anything else. Just like, the play's over, son, get on the ground. There's 4 guys there. We got a first down, but I like that. That's kind of what makes Austin, and certainly it's great to have a special quarterback.
I got a remedy for that. You pull out that Joe Theismann film, where Lawrence Taylor hit him there, Monday Night Football. That'll take care of that moving around a little bit.
Absolutely. That's but that is part of what makes Austin Austin. He's a tough kid, so we feel fortunate to have him for sure.
Coach, do you have many players playing offense and defense?
Not as many as we had last year. Last year our depth was non-existent, I guess, is a nice way to say that. We didn't have a lot. I mean, some of our young kids just were not ready to play 6A football. We wasn't strong enough, wasn't big enough, and we feel like the numbers, and we go through and as a staff and really look to see where we think who can compete on a Friday night in our league. We feel like those numbers of kids have almost doubled as far as kids we think can contribute on a Friday night, and so yes, we have. We do have kids that play both ways, but we don't have kids that play full-time both ways. And last year, Isaiah Hannon him and Tommy Myers averaged about 120 plays a game, and that makes it pretty tough when you don't get them off the field. So this year we feel like we have added quite a bit of depth, and that should help us.
Austin, you're already in the playoffs this year. Yeah. You're already in. So what kind of goals does the team have, knowing that you're already in the playoffs? What goals have been set?
We want to have a playoff game at William Blount.
So you're playing basically for a seed and the league. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
As far as this, and that's all going to change after this year. The heat has been brutal, absolutely brutal. I mean, as far as the humidity and everything. Austin, how does that affect a player practice-wise? And tell us sort of what goes on in a practice with heat, such as what we've had.
Well, sometimes it's really hard to get out there and get going when it's so hot. You just don't feel like being out there sometimes, but we just motivate ourselves because it'll pay off in the long run.
Coach, the heat, as far as a coach is concerned, it's got to be in the back of your mind because a coach is a driver. We've all been there. You want to drive a player and push him as hard as you can, and then you've got this out there. It's got to be tough, doesn't it?
It does, and it's been brutal this summer. I thought it's just because I'm getting old, but
no, it's not.
But it has been a very hot summer. I'm fortunate that my wife's at every practice, and she's in charge of the managers. She understands how to do that and how to hydrate kids. And for us, and I don't have to do it, thank goodness, because I wouldn't be very good at it probably. But for us, she does a great job of having managers have water at every station. It doesn't matter what groups you're in, there's always water there. And our coaches tell our kids, anytime you're not in the drill, go over and drink the water that you want. So we really work hard on hydration, and we've been blessed this fall not to have anything because of heat, because she does a good job with that. But it is something you have to take into effect. It's something you got to think about because we do want to make sure we're protecting our kids, and we try hard to do that.
Austin, what's the toughest part of quarterbacking in Coach Shadowens' offensive scheme to you?
Be careful what you say.
Decision making is always tough. Thinking about who the ball should go to.
Coach, last night in the Jamboree, you didn't play very many kids for a very length of time, especially your starters and so forth. I got to ask you this question because I talk to a lot of football coaches and I talk to a lot of basketball coaches. Have jamborees, have they sort of run their course? Is it time for coaches and everybody to look at, hey, maybe we need to drop the jamboree? We got all 4 schools right there. It's a great night. Everybody comes out. All the teams are together. Would it be better maybe to go from a jamboree to a doubleheader situation because you all play each other? What a great night that would be for Blount County football. Yes,
absolutely. I've never enjoyed jamborees, and I've played in one I think every single year for the last 23 years I've been a head coach. But you get to a point here, like in our county here, where we play Alcoa week 2, Maryville and Heritage I believe play next week, and it doesn't. Last year was different for us because I didn't know what our kids could do at all, so we played our kids in the jamboree, but we didn't play a lot of our kids at all, and I wouldn't play last night, and because it just didn't make sense to me. I mean, we worked all fall camp, had a very physical camp. We had our scrimmage games. I've evaluated those kids, and it didn't make a lot of sense to me to run them out there, for a series or 2 and then play again in 2 weeks. That's the thing. I'm not a big jamboree fan, right, but I do think it's a great experience for our young kids. I mean, we played a ton of young kids that have never played a high school football game, but so from a fan standpoint, I don't know. Maybe I think it's for the fans at this point. I mean, maybe as a fundraiser, I guess is what we use it for.
If you want to go to a 4-game deal, you want to go to a 4-team opening deal, the sports page will be glad to sponsor that, and we can sell more tickets than Santa Claus. We'll have them standing everywhere.
And I'll go ahead and go on record saying William Blount will be glad to host that.
Yes,
we'll host both games, and we'll even split the gate or whatever. Yeah. But I think that would be
a big night
for the county here. I think that would be an unbelievable night. But I don't know if that's ever going to happen. But I think it would be something special.
Well, Coach, thanks for coming down. Austin, thanks for coming down and visit with us this morning about William Blount football. And we look forward to you having a great year and good luck in your game next Friday night against Lenore City at William Blount.
Is that William Blount? Come out there and watch. That'll be a fun one.
Okay.
Yep. Thank you.
Hey, the Player of the Week is brought to you by Tyler Brothers Farm Equipment, located at 1832 West Lamar Alexander Parkway. Call 983-2245 or visit online at www.tbfe.com. The Sports Page Player of the Week awards are provided by Go Tees, where T-shirts are only the beginning, and Anderson Lumber Company, serving Blount County proudly for over 75 years. It's time for a break, and when we return, the spotlight is on the Heritage Mountaineers as head coach Tim Hammontree, along with his senior quarterback Cameron Carter, will be in the house. You're listening to the Sports Page, and now stay tuned for the best in local sports.
Take on those big chores around your property.